building our ultimate lap of Australia vehicle.
Jeez, that's so rotten. I cannot believe how dodgy this wiring is. Oh no, my mind is just going bananas. It means I've bought an absolute lemon. Okay, what's up? We are at a very exciting stage of the build where it's time to do our aluminium subframe in the van using aluminium T-slot. Now, if you remember from previous episodes, we discovered that the whole van's not actually made out of aluminium as we first hoped. It's framed out of fiberglass and wood. Some of those wood strips have cracked. Therefore, we want to really solidify the frame of this thing by building it out with something stronger, which is this aluminium T-slot. The other benefit of this is it will give all our cabinetry and stuff something to bolt to, and it will mean the whole thing is super rigid. Now, I've gone ahead and ordered these in some pre-cut lengths, which might need a bit of fine tuning, but it at least gives us a good base to go from. The other beauty about these things is comes with all sorts of different connections, which I've covered in a previous episode when I built my Forerunner drawers. But essentially, this stuff is the bee's knees. It's going to make the inside of this super strong while staying quite light. Now, originally I was hoping to do my cutouts for the window and kitchen hatch today, but I've realized I really need to know where these support beams are going to be so I don't accidentally put the window and block it off by one of these beams. So wish me luck. Let's go. All right, what's up everybody? Very exciting moment today. I am on my way to buy almost all the aluminium that we need for this project. So that's some black aluminium for the roof racks, some 30 by 30 silver aluminium for the inside framing. Yeah, we're very excited, buying it from a little family business, I think it is, up in Brisbane. They've been so great to deal with, really friendly, pretty good prices as well comparing to what everything else is around. So yeah, we're about to go buy $3,000 worth of aluminium and drive it all the way home and hopefully find somewhere to store it in the meantime. Let's go. Okay, so we made it home with all that aluminium, and in the meantime, yep, I did get a haircut. Now look, I don't know if this is enough aluminium. It's probably not, but it's going to be at least enough to frame out the inside with a little bit left over to start building out like the seats, the fridge, the shower area and all that. Yeah, so let's get this unloaded and start getting the inside ready for the most important next step, which is getting it insulated. Aluminium unloaded. Alright, now here's all the T-slot conveniently stored in my neighbour's garage. Thank you, Laura. We're going to work out what measurements we've got and start framing up inside. First of many hurdles. Got this sticking out a bit much, so we're going to have to cut a little notch out of there. Okay, so not gonna lie, this nearly broke me. Tried my damnedest to get it out with, had to use the grinder to cut it that way. Couldn't get anything in to cut it that way. Tried my multi-tool, tried a little Dremel that snapped a blade, the multi-tool wasn't cutting. So then I went and bought a new multi-tool blade. This one, even despite being universal fit, just wouldn't stay on this fucking blade. I don't know if I'm an idiot and just don't have the right parts for it or something, but so then I had to put a second blade on it to keep the first blade on. Anyways, and try and cut that. It's taken me about 3 hours to get my first T-slot. Feeling pretty disheartened, to be honest, but just got to remind myself it's all part of the fun, baby. Anyways, next step, now that we've got that in, we're gonna have to think about planning ahead, because you can't put these T-slot connectors in once it's all there. So now I'm gonna be sliding a bunch of the different connectors into this bottom one, and to make sure that we've got something we can bolt the vertical ones and the horizontal ones into this one. Woohoo! It's so hot in here. Okay, come to our first hurdle, but not, well no, definitely not our first hurdle. Mounting our first roof support bit. So I did get these cut a little bit oversized, just on the assumption that it's better to have them too tall and too short, and as sort of is expected, they're coming in just a little bit too tall. So realistically that's going to be there. We're going to mark roughly where that cut needs to go. We'll go get cutting. Oh hey, didn't see you there.
What you doing?
Okay, so we have, after about 3 hours, I finally cut out this tiny little gap for that bottom one to go in. That was, all of these tools couldn't do it.
But you could.
The problem was probably with me, but anyways, we got there. Now we're going to start building out the aluminium subframe. I think the best way to do it is go from the ground up. So I'm going to slowly build this frame around here, and then put the supports in, and I can run the roof ones, two down the middle, and one more along the sides, and a couple around the door, and I'll probably run out of those, but I ordered heaps of them, so surely not, and yeah, we're making a little bit of progress.
Yay! Alright, looks so much better. I like this hole.
Yeah, thank you. I actually want to put a like a little water tank here with a tap that goes out there. So I thought that might be the creative way to make use of some of that space. And yeah, we're getting there. Okay, that's day one in the books. We've done a little bit of the framing out, probably not quite as much as I would have hoped, but it's come together alright. We've almost finished the floor framing. I've had to build a little surround for the engine bay here. Next up, we'll be getting all the vertical ones in, the horizontal ones in, propping up the roof a little bit, securing it to the wall. See ya tomorrow.
To the window.
And the wall. Looks great. Okay, project update. Now we got the van back from doing the insulation. There's another YouTube episode on that. We've gone with cork-on insulation, which is eco-friendly, antimicrobial, really easy to apply, good sound deadener, good insulator. So pretty stoked how that's turned out. And we've been all systems go installing our aluminium subframe, as you can see. Now we've run out of connectors, as many as I did buy. So you'll see I've just got a bit of blue tape holding things in place. Not the final product, not quite load bearing in this sense, but you get a rough idea of what we're going to do. We've used a few different types of connectors for the kind of more serious corners. We've got these L brackets, pretty strong bracket on there. We've used these single screw L brackets here on some of the less load bearing ones. Down this way, we've also used just this screw with a tapped and tapping into the aluminium now. Okay, now these ones are by far the cheapest to use, but they're also one of the most annoying to do. You have to basically use a step bit to cut a hole in this piece. You have to use a tapping tool to tap a thread into this piece, and once it's on, if that bit's hidden, you can't get that out without basically taking this whole thing off. That's why for a lot of them I've gone with this style bracket. Great thing about these is this one's not secure right now, but you can put them on, take them off without having to take the aluminium off or take the whole thing apart, which, as you can imagine, would have been a bit harder. We've started building our shroud around the engine bay just because we couldn't put a flat piece there. That'll be covered in some insulated material. We've had to cut out a couple of little holes in the fiberglass here just to make sure we could get these on, and we'll be supporting the roof with another piece here that'll get hidden up with panels. And pretty much all that's left from our interior subframe perspective is to run some lengthways along the roof and a couple crossways just to give the roof a bit more support. As you can see right now it's sort of held up by this acro bar, but without that it feel a bit too floppy. So hopefully some crossbars across there. We'll have another pole there, I guess, to add some support with showers. Not a lot of support in the middle, but at least running these bars across should help out a little bit with that. I think that's pretty much our project update. Anything else I need to add, Amy?
Show everyone what you have.
Yep, Amy's done her hair. We've got date night tonight. 2 years together, date night tonight, so we've stopped the project. And Amy has done her hair. Let's have a look. Wow, especially with this lighting. Is that not the prettiest hair you've ever seen? Amy's going to be releasing some videos on her hair coming up.
Really?
I don't know. You should. I'm sure everyone will be flooding the comment section with
I haven't watched it either.
how do you get your hair looking so good?
So maybe that's the trick.
Yeah. Oh, this is the scary campervan. Next couple of days I'm also going to cut, very scarily, cut some of these holes. We're putting up a window here and I'm going to put the hatch for our kitchen here, our slide out kitchen. We can get a little bit of an idea of how big our slide out kitchen is going to be. Not very big, but we'll use some clever tricks to try to make sure we get a bit more space out there. And we've also been thinking about our kitchen layout. We've kind of rolled with 370mm deep based on the advice of some other friends who've done van builds. We just want to make sure we have a bit more space to move around up here so that two of us can walk back and forth and not just have to suck our stomachs in when we walk past the kitchen. I thought about not doing this angled shower because I think it's going to be really hard to build. And then I thought, you know what, I want this to be perfect for how we envision it. So I am going to do the angled shower. So wish me luck on that one, guys. If anyone wants to come help me build an angled shower, then they are welcome. Wow, what's my hair doing? Okay, we are at the final stages of building the interior subframe out of aluminium. All the way from New Zealand, my dad's come over to help me out. We've just got the roof supports to do now, attaching it all to the wall, and then hopefully we can move on to the roof stuff. So yeah, we'll get cracking, finish off those roof supports, and that'll be the end of this episode. Oh, there we go. That's it. Nice. Okay, and I am proud to present our finished interior aluminium subframe. The reason we've had to put this in is the fiberglass roof was way flimsier than we thought it was going to be. This is all wood and plywood, not aluminium and plywood like I thought it would be. And we're going to be adding quite a heavy aircon, roof vent fan, a few other things. We don't want the roof caving in, so we've gone pretty hard and reinforced it with, yeah, I guess a whole new box shell chassis sort of thing, with I guess one of the most important parts being these cross brackets so that when the aircon's sitting there we're not getting water pouring in, and I'm pretty happy with that now. If you imagine a big heavy aircon that used to come down to like here and you'd worry the whole roof is going to cave in, but now that's really nicely braced. That's it for this episode. If you're keen to see what we do next we're going to be hitting up the aircon, the roof vent fans, getting the roof sort of well and truly sorted. We've also got a custom roof rack to do with some lightweight, sort of custom lightweight solar panels to make sure we don't have too much weight up here on the roof, and we're going to be revealing our finalized floor plan after a lot of tweaking. So make sure you hit subscribe down below. Thanks Dad for all the help getting this up here. Couldn't have done it without him. Definitely needed two hands for that one, and see you on the next one.